Which team, Drew, inside your top 10 power rankings is the biggest pretender? And this one can be short or long, up to you. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I just got my explanation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the
Yeah.
Steelers. The reason for that is at top 4 in the NFL, you're expected to be a Super Bowl contender, and these Steelers are not Super Bowl contenders. Y'all can get mad at me if you want. You can point at all the stuff that you want, but the offense is not nearly good enough to like look at what the Bills are gonna do. Look at what the Lions are gonna do, what the Chiefs are gonna do. Look at what the Bengals can do any given night. Your offense is just not good enough, and that's we don't have 10-3 games in the NFL playoffs. It just doesn't
Right.
happen. You got Josh Allen throwing 4 touchdowns, the same wide receiver. Shout out to Gabe Davis. He's out for the season. It just to me, the Steelers at where they're at in the power rankings screams Super Bowl contender, and they are not a Super Bowl contender. So I'm gonna say for now they are my pretender.
And I'm okay with. I'm not really going to argue with you too much about it. As I also, if you listen to the power ranking section, either YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast, then
TikTok.
TikTok, wherever it's at. All right, you know that I also have the Steelers at number 4. You also know that we were wrong about the Steelers. If you've been watching us for a while on the preseason process of everything, we were wrong about some of the Justin Field stuff. But still, I get it. We got them at 4. The defense is really talented. Your biggest piece on your team is always going to be your quarterback, and there's a lot of questions there. I was just talking about who's the most overrated wide receiver in the league. I think I'm going to throw it out there. I don't give a fuck how mad you get. George Pickens is not as good as you think. Fucking relax, okay? He's not a bona fide one. Fucking calm down. He's a jump ball wide receiver. Congratulations. Fuck off. Hate that shit. Steelers are a good team. They're at the 4. So I'm not going to really disagree with you on that one. Mine, and Drew's going to call me a hater because he already has, and I'm going to say it again. I think the Eagles are far and away the biggest pretenders inside my top 10. Eagles had last year an all-time collapse that followed them into the postseason with a loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This year, I see a team that has 2 losses with a grand total of 1 significant win under their belt with all of their wins. They played against Green Bay on a shit Brazil field that I just don't care about. I don't care about that win, really. They lost against Atlanta, who's inside of our top 10, was inside of our top 10. Let me clarify that again. They have a win against New Orleans, which we know who New Orleans is. A loss against Tampa Bay, who sat inside of our top 10 for a very long time, and then wins against Cleveland, New York, Cincy, Jacksonville, Dallas, and Washington. Washington is genuinely the one team that I would consider top 10 quality having a win against them. The losses against ATL and Tampa Bay inside the top 10 and lost against them. They do have 3 more games to really impress me and sway me away from being the pretender category for this season. That's going to be Baltimore, that's going to be Pittsburgh, and that's going to be Washington once again. Right now, at the very moment, I'm not a believer in this team, and that's where I'm going to sit. I'm not going to be a believer, and you can call me a hater, but I believe in Washington. I think Washington is a good team. I was wrong about Jaden Daniels in the pre-draft process. He's a very good quarterback, and it's been an enjoyable thing to watch him and the Washington team. I threw up my hands and I said, "Oh shit, he fucking caught it!" And it was super duper exciting when the Hail Mary happened with Washington. I wasn't mad that Washington won, so you can call me a hater. I just think the Eagles are still pretenders to this point for me. So it's yet to be seen for me, in my opinion. I'm curious to see how these final playoff picture predictions are going to end up lining up to who they're going to play, because that all depends on if they're going to win or not. But to me, just I'm not the biggest fan. Surprising, I know, huh?
Do you know where the Commanders are ranked in the NFL defensively?
Probably pretty low. They're not. Their defense isn't great. Secondaries,
Oh, 29.
yep,
Do you know where the Eagles are ranked?
1, right? 1, 2,
They they sure are.
yeah.
Do you know where the Commanders are ranked offensively?
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Ninth.
Yeah,
Do you know where the Steelers are ranked offensively?
29th.
19th.
Okay, that's
Do you know where they do you, do you know where the Eagles are ranked
5
offensively?
or 7.
All this to say, do you know who the number 1 rated overall football team in the NFL is right now? It's not hard.
Carolina Panthers.
Detroit Lions, as expected. Do you know who's number 2?
Is this one the Carolina Panthers?
Philadelphia.
No, it's not. But yeah, sure.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But also, just so we can, I'm going to shed a light on PFF rankings real quick, who back up my data. They back up that the Lions are the best team in the NFL. They back up that the Eagles are a top 5 team in the NFL. Do you know who the 4th highest ranked team in the NFL is right now, PFF wise? The San Francisco fucking Niners, and they suck. So PFF can blow me. That is not the end all be all of statistics, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up on this. I'm gonna show up on this podcast. What a
Oof.
who's it gonna
That's just
be?
gross. You're really gonna do that to yourself? That's bad.
Who is it gonna be? We can get a Cooper DeJean jersey. What's wrong with
Just
that?
an Eagles jersey is nasty, man. There's not very many teams I genuinely just dislike entirely, and that they're definitely one of them.
Well, what can you do?
Nothing. We're gonna have to see in a couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and move off of this